You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks.
All right, guys, here we go. Another episode of Gym Marketing Made Simple. Sherman here with Blake, Josh, and today we have a special guest, Andrew Charlesworth. He's the Midwest Regional Affiliate Representative, right? That's a mouthful. I had to make sure I had this right. Andrew, thanks for hanging out with us today, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thanks for saying my name correctly. My 5-year-old had to go say his name in interview for kindergarten, and he's panicked to say my last name. So you did a great job, Sherman. It's just, yeah.
I was prepared. I was prepared for the last name. So yeah, man. Let's talk about. Let's jump right into it. With your role, we've had you on here a time or two before, but in your role, what exactly are you in charge of being the Midwest Regional Affiliate Rep, so that everyone knows?
Great question. Because a lot of affiliates have that question. First of all, there's never been a point of contact or a direct line to HQ. That's why the job was created. So in theory, right, you're going to come to me if you have an issue that's kind of more than likely you're going to come to me on an affiliate support level too. Hey, I need to change my email, et cetera, or whatever. And then I'm going to direct you to the appropriate place. It's awesome if you don't do that and you know the appropriate place to go, but most people don't. So then that's one aspect. Another aspect is, hey, I'm panicking. My gym's struggling. I need to talk to someone. Boom, get on our calendar. Another aspect is we're putting on events for the affiliates, like gatherings or, something like that. And then another aspect would be that the new affiliates, right? So anyone who's interested in affiliation, which is my personal favorite, like if, things shuffle up and there's, a new owner who wants XYZ, I could see myself completely taking over the pipeline of new affiliates because it's something I'm super passionate about. Get them set up early with all the stuff we've seen people do wrong over the years. You can kind of direct them away or, hey, you're not ready. It's cool that you have a passion, but you're not even close to being ready in 2026. Right. So that's something I really enjoy doing.
No, that's okay. So yes, so you're the touch point, and I love what you're saying. I believe that's a huge sort of point where we can grow as a community is having someone that is sort of the touch point, sort of OG for these new guys and girls coming in, because it is totally different starting a gym in 2026 than it was in 2013.
In what way? If you had to say one
same,
way, yeah, one way. What way do you think, Sherman, or anyone?
Well, I started my gym. Well, I started my gym in my garage in 20 whenever. It was new. It was novice. People were like, "Oh, what's this CrossFit thing? Oh, you're in your garage. Well, I'll at least come and try it out." Those days are over now. You need to have you need to have a brick and mortar, something that's semi nice, because you're going up against these guys that have big money. They're spending tons of money on marketing to get people to their space, and they're promoting their business, before it opens 6 months ahead of time, spending $5,000-$10,000 a month. So they're just sort of capitalizing the market, as opposed to, again, when I first started, it was just, hey, I'm going to do this. Told my friends, tell your friends, and we'll make this thing work. And it grew. I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you can do that anymore. It's tough now. So that's what I would say. I don't know about the other guys. But,
yeah, and you guys know that because you work with some, it's not like you're biased on, hey, I won't work with XYZ. You love CrossFit gyms because you come from that. And that's your who you want to help the most. I mean, probably biasly, but yeah, some of these other things will come to you guys and say, hey, we're ready to throw down $15K this month on ads on Meta. And you're like, okay,
Correct.
But I will say our training's still better. That's what people are forgetting, right? They forget that if you do CrossFit even half well, you're probably going to produce more results than the competitor who is trying to drown you with their, big back money. If you're confident in the product
Correct.
that you deliver.
But
Correct. See, now that's the thing. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I love CrossFit. I still do CrossFit. However, though, the typical consumer, they're just going off of what they're seeing out there in the
Absolutely.
market. And if they look better, smell better, talk better, we will never get the chance to really let them see our program is quote unquote superior. Blake, what were you saying?
yeah, the issue is that these gym owners, it's back in the if you build it, they will come. A lot of them still think that, right? And even if you can get them better results, if you do not pay to get that message out there, nobody will find you, right? It's like that hidden restaurant that nobody knows about, but until they start marketing and everybody talks about, then they get really big, right? It's like that hidden gem, and then once everybody finds, you're like, crap, everybody knows about it now, right? But until that person gets the message out, Orange Theory and the other big franchises that are spending money are going to get all that awareness. And we've worked with gyms that have said, oh, they're going to find us because we're CrossFit and we're amazing coaches.
Yeah.
And it did not go well. And they admitted, it did not go well. And that's all I'll say with that. But
no, sorry, Blake, I don't want to cut you off. That's so well said. You get me
No, you're
excited.
good,
This is
man.
going to be such a great event. Like, I have so many things I want to talk about. So you guys have to cut me off when we talk about the event or when I'm there. But if you, Blake's unbelievably correct, and I want to echo on that. If you want to be the mom and pop breakfast restaurant that you never do marketing, you never, could just because you're so good and you've been there so long. Guess what people don't forget about the mom and pop restaurant? They have no overhead. They probably own their building, or the building was given to them by their mom and pop. It's probably the tax. I mean, the only thing that screws them over is like taxes and, gentrification of like pushing them out, which is sad. Like, I actually don't like that. But yeah, so if you have an affiliate, you own the building, and you got your other business on the side and so on and so forth. Yeah, sure. Maybe there is still like people who can get that done, but not if you're just going to open up in the competitive market that we're in today. You have to have some sort of strategic marketing plan. And we talk about it on my business call every week, ways to do it, free ways to do it. And you guys will give that. I think you guys have a call similar, like talking about social media or something, but it's like you have to be in on it. It's got to be more than just I build it, they come, I post once a day and they come.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, you're right about that. So let's jump into it because you brought it up a couple of times. The event that we're having in your neck of the woods in November. Excited to see all of the Midwest peeps that you bring out and stuff like that. But what sort of made you excited about the event? Because obviously we reach out to people, seeing who would be interested, and you were definitely interested from the beginning. So like, what sort of had you excited about the event?
Well, I love talking about this stuff. It's exactly what I've done for 3 years. And like you said in the job description, I think I'm the only rep who does a weekly business call. I'm not talking about coaching, not talking about any of that. It has to relate to the affiliate revenue, how to increase it. And it's been every week for over 3 years. And there's been a lot that I've even learned from the affiliates of what goes on in 2026 in different parts of the world. I'm sorry, different parts of the Midwest, because I don't even touch the other world, care less. I'm only in these 8 states, right? So no offense to Florida guys,
Yep.
but it's it's mainly you guys have done a good job of grouping people together. So the panel's really good. And I want to hop in and just be able to, I don't want to say rant because I'm going to make it, educational and organized because I like ranting and stuff like this on podcasts, but I think there's a way to maximize the methodology, shrink it down in square footage, try to get more bodies in a space and have less classes. And that mathematical formula still can work. And then you have more free cash to put towards marketing, paid marketing, like with you guys, or more free cash to pay yourself and invest your money. That's a big one. Nobody's
Yeah,
mad at
it's a
CrossFit
big one.
if they're, I'm going to say this again. I think I said this on the last podcast. Nobody's mad at CrossFit when they have enough money to, take care of their family and buy themselves a jet ski, because you've never seen a human being frown on a jet ski. Even if you don't like I don't swim or anything, but I've been on a jet ski before and I'm trying to frown. I'm like, it doesn't work. So, and I don't mean that in a way of like, capitalism and crazy, like, oh, you need to have a big house. Like, I'm in a 2010 Toyota 4Runner right now, which I will drive until the wheels completely fall off. My wife is mad at me because I don't buy clothes. I probably still wear a free Lasso shirt that I got from you guys or something. Like, it's like, it is what, so, but the affiliates end up getting frustrated when they have no money. That's the truth. No one's mad at CrossFit
Yeah,
for that $375 a month affiliation because they know the value that it brings. But if you are literally losing money, then you see that's the first thing to get mad at.
correct.
You're like, oh man, this sucks.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I believe, I've never really thought about it like that, but like the people that really get mad at CrossFit are people that are struggling, and like you said, and they're charging me $300, $400 a month. Like, what are they doing for me? Like, no, the question should be, how can you capitalize even more on what they're already doing? Because at the end of the day, no one's coming to save you, man. I believe that this entrepreneurship, it gets polished and sort of waxed to look a specific way, but there's a lot that goes into owning any type of business, let alone a gym. I always tell people, like my gym, it was successful. I love my gym, but gymming is hard. Gymming is tough, especially if you set it up the wrong way. Like you're saying, if you set it up the wrong way, you're gonna have some long days and long nights and no money to show for it. And that's a bad place to be in. Like that's a bad place to be in,
Yeah.
for sure.
Can you
Um,
guys reconcile?
so
Go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Nope, you
Okay.
go ahead.
And I don't know, this might be too technical, so I want to make it uh like on a CrossFit, because I know you guys know the most about doing meta ads, right? A lot of people will say, well, why doesn't CrossFit do massive meta ads for me? And first of all, they do, and you can get leads from the map. And then they're like, well, these leads suck. I think there's a lack of education on how what a lead is. Like, if you get 100 leads from you guys or something, and 15% of them convert. So out of 100, 15, I don't know, let's say 30 even
It's
responded
good.
to you. Yeah, I was going to say that's like massively good. I think people are far underestimating
Yeah.
the how this stuff works. Like, leads are just people, they're taking a dump on the toilet and they're like, boom. That is what you're trying to get. And then volume should make it work. If people want extremely hot leads, it's already your existing members. You need to go creep on their family or what's going on. Or if you want an extremely, extremely hot lead, you need to go sit in a coffee shop, bring a freaking QR code that says, I want to buy you a coffee if I can talk to you about fitness for 5 seconds. You've already talked to the person. They've seen you blink. They've seen your personality. But that takes a lot of work and a lot of balls too. So I don't know. I just think people don't understand, right? Like, you guys probably find that
Yeah.
too.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah, what you're saying is basically like, Josh says it all the time. Like, to be in the Hall of Fame of baseball, you need to bat 300, right? You need to be 1 for 3. We're asking you to be 1 for 5, right? Or 1 for 10, right? That gets you in the number that you need. A cold traffic, because it is cold traffic, and there's two things that, like, first off, when somebody has a problem, they're not just opting into you, right? They're opting in probably to 4 different things. Like, I don't love my lawn care service right now. I'm going to reach out to probably 4 different ones and decide which one. Am I a bad lead to the ones I didn't decide? No, not at all. I picked somebody, right? So there's also the fact that, like, there's so much that goes into it. But yes, if you close, the industry standard is like 3 to 5% on cold traffic. So if you're closing 10 to 20%, you're absolutely crushing it. And the other thing we talk about all the time, but yes, super warm traffic is referrals or people just going to your website and seeking you out, or just moved from Indianapolis to Nashville and then did CrossFit in Indy. And they're like, hey, I'm looking for a new CrossFit gym. Super warm lead, right? They're seeking you out. When you switch it around, they don't know, like, or trust you, and you have to build that quickly. And if you don't do that well through lead nurture and responding fast, that person's going to drop off. But I see it all the time. 30 days later, like, a message goes out, hey, have you joined a gym yet? Yep, I went to F45. Yep, I went to Orange Theory. Yes, I joined this other gym. They were never a bad lead. You did a bad job of nurturing them and get them in the door and showing them value. So I think there's so much to say about, like, people, and I think you said it on Stu's podcast really well, is that, like, fitness is hard. It's not an easy thing to do. Like, oh, now I want to go from a sedentary lifestyle of doing nothing and feeling like crap all the time to, like, going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and committing to this something that's really hard life change. That's a big adjustment, right? It's much different than just going to get surgery or doing, GLP-1s or something like that. And now you're competing against that, if we're being honest. So on top of that, if you have a bad lead nurture system, if you don't call people within 10 minutes, yes, you're going to have bad results. But if you do all those, then you just play the numbers game, and then you can't get emotional about, I had 100 leads and I signed up 20. That means 80 people told me no. Like, people are like, I had 4 people that didn't, speak English, or 4 people that lived outside of the area. That's in the percentages. That's why we know that it's not going to work. Like, it's not going to be, we didn't say you're going to sign up 100%. You have to stop worrying about those people that, like, to be honest, just because somebody doesn't sign up the first month does not mean they're a bad lead. And to your question, what is a lead? A lead is somebody that gives you their information, their name, phone number, and email. And expresses that they have a problem that they think that you have the solution to. That is it, right? Now, that's a lead. Now, people are like, well, that's not a qualified lead. How is it not a qualified lead? You had an ad out there that said, hey, are you looking to lose weight, gain strength, get in better shape, all those things? They said yes. That's a qualified lead. Now, if it's a bad number, okay, cool, I get that. But that goes into the percentages. And at the end of the day, it's all just a numbers game. If I get 50 leads in and I sign up 10 and I used to get 4, I'm getting a net 6 positive, and that just compiles on itself as long as my churn stays the same, and then I win. So that was my rant for today.
Oh, that was great. That was perfect. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can take it. I know that's like even like I won't say a touchy subject probably for you guys, because I'm sure you get a lot of customers that, hey, I heard this person and, they talked to them and they got 500 leads from you and they were converting. And it's like, well, you can only control the controllables. Leads are, a seasonality is a key to them, right? And your location, and even seasonality of locations, right? Like, you guys don't necessarily know either until you start firing it. And that's why you should stay, 6 months a year to see everything through. I think actually 6 months is way too little. You need 18 months really to kind of see a full thing and then see your return on that. But yeah, go ahead, Sherman. I know you're the captain of the ship. We can go on that one.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, I agree with you on that. I mean, that's the thing. Like, we talk about all the time. Someone, let's hypothetical gym, they come to us, right? And again, I'm just making numbers up. They're doing 19 grand per month. They're like, oh, I want to run these ads, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And they had their gym for 6 years. Okay, so you have your gym for 6 years, and you've gotten the revenue up to 19 grand per month, 19 grand MR. Okay, perfect. Kudos to you. That's good. But obviously, we can go much higher. What happens a lot of times, they'll come to us and say, well, yes, I've grown the gym. We're at 19K, but I want you to take it to 32K in 4 months. And I'm always like, hold on now, hold on. You've had the gym for 6 years. You've only been able to get it up to 19K by yourself. And you're going to come to us and say that we only had 4 months to get it up to 32K? Like, that's not how this thing works. Like you're saying, Andrew, if someone was to come to us and stick with it 12, 18 months, there's no doubt in my mind that we can increase their revenue dramatically. But what happens is, like you're saying, the seasonality, the ebbs and flows. For the people that don't really understand business, if I'm being honest, the first time it slows down, even after a month where, let's say, they may gain, and believe it or not, like they may gain 40 people over the last couple months, right? They've gained 40 new clients. Now they have a month where it's the middle of the month and they've only gained three. They're like, guys, I don't know if this is working anymore. I mean, like, what's going on? And we're like, bro, what are you talking about? You just gained 40 new people over the last 8 or 9 weeks, and now over the next 3 weeks you've gained three, and you're freaking out as the world is ending because what happens is people aren't great with their money. Like we know that they don't know how to budget their money. They don't know how to really keep up with their business. So they live, month to month, right? So it doesn't matter what I did last month because I didn't keep any of that money, even though I had a PR month. I spent all that money and I needed to have another PR month this month for this to work. And we see that more often than not, unfortunately. And that's where a lot of gyms really struggle when they work with us, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and Sherman, I know because we're friends on Facebook. I know you're a big debt-free guy, and so am I. It's like it. Sometimes it's like chicken before the egg. I think that might be the right reference. Like, are you terrible with like, I need my business to make 45K a month and yada yada. And it's like, this isn't your guys' job. It can be my job because I can do whatever fuck I want. But it's like, hey, why do you really need that much money? Like, what's going on? Like, well, got my Tesla
Correct.
payment and my kid. It's like, well, all right. But here's something that you guys probably haven't talked about yet that I think is so good for your business. Man, I'm in the investing space, so this isn't what it's going to be about. But I heard this quote, and I can't remember the quote. I can only remember how it made me feel, or the like theory behind it. But investing isn't about I did X and Y. It's balancing your element of risk in return. And in that balance, if you take no risk, you're not a good investor. If you take extremely little risk, you're not a good investor, right? You have to find where the places for you to take and look at more risk. So when you invest in a mentorship, ads, anything going on, you need to be able to measure the risk in return. Like, now, is it fairly risky to say let's see, I'm going to go ham, 15 grand in 1 month, right? With Lasso and see what happens.
Yep.
Far out on the risk curve, right? In that, who knows? You
Yep.
might have produced like 500 leads and you're very good at converting. Like Blake talked about, you had your structure and system. And also, okay, guys, great. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Because I just got 17 new members and that's all I need. The return was there. I just think that, like, you guys do a good job with balancing that for people, saying, hey, make this an 18-month plan. And then when they come to you like, hey, I'm about to shut the doors, it's like, okay, well, it's a hard thing to just know, hey, in 3 months you're going to see X, Y, or Z, right? So it's all that element of risk return. Like, I have a huge risk appetite, huge risk. And
Yep.
that's also why I probably have eye twitches and some, like GI inflammation as well, right? I'm not going to sit and argue but I don't acknowledge it. It's like, yeah, why does I have GI issues still? Oh, I watched an account go up by 200 and down by 200,000 in a month, right? So it's like, but over the course of decades, that becomes less and less, right? So yeah, I don't know. If you just budgeted that
Yep.
I'm going to use some for 18 months, I think that's a good balance of like risk versus return. I don't see the return in just becoming a better coach all the time. And trust me, I've gotten busted by that by my peers. I've 300 level 1, level 2 seminars I've taught. It doesn't mean it's not the best course. I've never seen a better course in my life than the CrossFit seminars.
I agree.
As a matter of fact, even other
I agree.
seminars,
Seminars are phenomenal.
yeah, but that's not going to just produce you revenue. Those days are gone. Like Blake said in the beginning,
Yeah. I think that's sort of a topic that we talk about often. Where like level 2, level 3, you should have that because you want the best for your clients, and you can really manage and help people get the results. But at the end of the day, these people that are coming in, they don't care if you have a level 5. They don't
Yep.
care about that. Can you help them achieve their goals? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if coaching was so important, why does Orange Theory open with 400 members when they're basically cheerleaders?
You guys need to
right?
get on X.
So
You need to
if
get on
coaching
X
was
and
that,
post that. That's an X post
I
for
mean,
you
I
guys.
say it enough times on here.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the truth though. Like if Orange Theory and those F45s have figured out how to just motivate people and get them in the door and hopefully keep them around, and they know their numbers really, really well. I work with a girl that's a former OTF like manager for a region, and she's like, if we close 15%, we're crushing it. And they know. And then their coaches they have to maintain a 50% close rate. And if they don't, they go to less busy classes and they don't get the prime classes. They put their coaches that can actually sell. Their coaches are more salespeople than actual coaches most of the time because they have to maintain that 50% close rate when they come in. And their stats are, hey, if we get 100 leads, we want 60% to show up, or I'm sorry, 60% to book, 60% to show, 60% to close. And if you do that math over the course of the time, it ends up being 20% is their gold standard of what they're trying to hit. And so what a lot of CrossFit and owners think is still that like they're being told, just be a great coach. Like people are going to come in your gym. Nobody knows. The normal person does not know the difference between L1 and L4. Like they don't. All they care about is like, hey, can this gym get me from here to here? And that's it. And the franchises do a better job of telling that story than most CrossFit gyms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's good. That's good.
And they're overcapitalized too. That's a big they go into it knowing that this is because what other business can you I'll just be quick, Sherman. What other business can you like
No, you're good.
if I became CEO of CrossFit, fuck, I have so many ideas. I mean, I would never do this. I would never accept the role, by the way. I would never. But like the company we even struggle with similar things that the affiliates do right now, I think, and identity and where to go. And dude, I'd be partnering with Tough Sheds. I think Tough Sheds is a good one. Like, and I'd get back going to the garage thing because what other business could you open? Throw a shed in your backyard as long as you don't get in trouble with your township, your city, whatever, and start training a couple people. You put in your affiliate for maybe it's a different fee for a garage gym, right? It's half or less, and you're on a map and so on and so forth. And Tough Shed, we get you 30% off of a shed. We got a partnership with Rogue, maybe not, right? Maybe someone else who wants to just get some pull-up bars and some kettlebells in and people can start training. Because that's how that's what they're saying what they want, and then you move on, or you get a big location, or hey, you want to be a $50,000 a year CrossFit affiliate. That tier exists, and it's going to include all, probably partner with you guys and make sure the ads, and you can call yourself, of a city name, right? Of a big metropolitan city name, because you can't do that anymore, obviously. Right? There's a lot of stuff. Partner with Planet Fitness. Say, hey, Planet Fitness is now a sponsor of the CrossFit Games. People would freak out. Be like, what are you talking about, Andrew? I'm like, think about it. Think about it for 1 second. Hey, I don't care if my members want to go to use a leg extension and walk and then go tan. Go for it. I want to offer them a discount to it or something, and I want to get my name in your fucking place. So all these people who don't know what they're doing, maybe I can help them, right? So I don't know. It's just so much stuff that can be done, and I think it will at some point. But we got to get a little crazy if you want to get a little. That's probably something I'll talk about is the niches. I got a thought now of like maybe how to condense your space and whatever, but like the niches are key right now in this economy.
I agree.
Niche yourself down and be special. Stu and I do talk about that all the time. Like say, hey, this gym is not for beginners, or you can go as hard as you want. Like this gym is for elite people only. More than likely, you're going to fail at all of our workouts. You are going to drive a certain person in your door if people see that. It's it's going to be specific. If you want to go foraging elite fitness, if you want to brand it another way and be like, we don't really like sweaty guys puking, they're gross, ew, and have a swig. You guys know swig or the things that the Mormon wives drink? Like, have a girl doing a swig. Swig is it's like a Diet Coke. Blake, I know Blake's probably never seen this. It's like a Diet Coke special because they don't drink alcohol. So that's like all these Mormon wife girls on the Hulu show, they have like these swig cups, and I see it all around now. Like girls are getting specialty, like Diet Mountain Dew with cream, or something like, yeah, go crazy. You're going to attract those people. It's very niche down, right?
Yeah. 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 I always heard the riches are in the niches, right? That's what I've always heard. You double down and just focus on one thing, and that's how you, yeah. So let's jump back to the event. Let's say that, Andrew, let's say that someone is sort of on the fence about coming to the event. Why would you tell them they should come to the event November 7th and 8th in Nashville? Like, what can they sort of expect?
Yeah. I think number one is when you put yourself in an environment where you're around other owners that are seeking higher revenue, how can I get there? It's seeking more growth, and not in terms of growth of just like coaching or anything like that, but growth in terms of leadership in their own gym, leadership of making more money, seeing what the other people are already doing, having shared experiences with people, and then the people you guys have speaking are absolutely amazing, right? You're going to get more than you're going to hear about real estate. You're going to hear about stuff from me. You're going to hear about nutrition, like things that you could take away and next week automatically implement. I think that's a reason that people should go, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things we're really trying to focus on, right? Like, again, we're not going to be talking about coaching air squats and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but this is specifically for gym owners doing 15, 20 grand plus, right? So we're not looking for necessarily the gym that's been around that's only doing 10K. Like, this is because we're going to be talking about things that you aren't quite ready to do yet. So I like that. And for us, when we're hanging out, we are going to be giving people actionable steps to make sure that they're ready to crush 2027, right? Obviously, we would love for them to, let paid marketing be a part of that. But even if they don't, they're going to leave that with actionable steps on how to get out in front of more people. Because, like you're saying, Andrew, the climate has changed, and people have to know about us, right? People have to know about us, and it's starting to get more competitive every single day. People, like we're hearing about some of these gyms. Man, Blake, what's that gym in your town that has a retractable roof and that type of thing? I mean, like a new gym really doesn't even have a shot at that.
I mean, we have Oswell. That's they have a coffee stand in it. I have a whole recovery. They even have the boost that you can go work. So if you get done working out, you can go in there and take your calls and everything like that. And they're already at capacity, and he's looking to open another one. So yeah, I mean, the fundamentals of not having a dirty gym. And I said this recently, CrossFit gyms, you want people to spend $200, but when you go look at your Instagram page, it probably looks like $100 membership. Like you have to level up your facility now to compete with these other ones, because you got gyms like the Yard that looks super cool. High Rocks is massive. I'm working with a guy that signs up 40 people a month, and every single month for his High Rocks, and he's going to franchise his organization. He's going to Salt Lake City, and he's already signing a lease this like today on that one and starting to advertise because he sees how fast it's growing. But every video, he's got a videographer in there shooting great video, cutting it, making it look premium. If you want to charge premium prices, it's got to look premium. I always say, like, say you look at a restaurant and they, it's $100 a plate, but you go look at their Instagram and Yelp and it doesn't look like it's worth it, you're not going to show up. Like, if the steak looks horrible, why would you show up to a place that is expensive and the value doesn't meet the quality? So it has to proceed and look like it's going to be. So these gyms that are just posting like really bad imagery and things like that, people look at that and like, it doesn't matter what kind of ad I run and how good it is, because they're going to do more research. It's 2026. Like, people don't always just click on ads anymore. They're going to do the research and say, hey, does this look like a place that I want to go to? And they go to your Instagram and it's horrible pictures. They're gonna be like, man, this doesn't look like a place that I want to go to, because they want to target everybody making $100,000 or more, but somebody making $100,000 or more wants to go to a place that looks like fits their culture.
Yeah. And with the growth in AI, what people don't understand is, first of all the things that Blake said sound, professional videographer, yada yada. There's ways you can do this. I don't want to say cheap now, but AI is reducing the costs of everything. It's going to eliminate jobs eventually. We all know that. And I know one way is, like, most of a CrossFit gym, people always want to help the community. More than likely, you have a wedding photographer or something of that nature, where if you just said, hey, can I pay you $200 or give you a month membership? Can you come into every class for 3 days, or something? And the more than likely you get all that content. What you could do with AI with that stuff is out of this world. You could have 6 months right there, and now it looks professional like Blake. And then you can also spend more time developing your Instagram, et cetera, because the whole Google thing, and you guys will be prepared for this because you're always ahead of everything. Everyone Googles right now, near me, what's it look like, website, yada, yada. That's going to change. You want to know why? Because Google is going to have to use AI, and AI loves Reddit. AI loves Instagram. AI loves all the things that they're going to go to. They don't just go to cold internet stuff. And then so people are going to start to use Google again, but Google's going to have to change, because right now in AI, I do this all the time. Nutrition. I'm like, hey, I need 50 grams of protein. I need it under $8. Here's my exact location. Give me all the chains right near me and tell me, like, and randomly, if it's just a little more, like $9, but I want it under 800 calories. That's how people are going to start to use search engine optimization. And so if you're like a dope niche gym and your Instagram's just fire and they comment on it a lot or something, you may, and then all of a sudden you run ads, you can be like, wow, this worked way better than I thought. It's like, I don't know what avenue is working for that, but having good media and looking professional and looking clean is never going to fail you. Even if you don't have as much as, a retractable roof and a lounge, this and that. If you're telling a dope story and people like it, and the niches, you're like my jujitsu gym, their Instagrams, he has a professional comes in, a member, but it tells the story. It's a competitive ass gym. It's a lot of dudes. It's a lot of guys who compete. It's not, there's no games, right? There's not like a warm up. It's straight no-gi jiu-jitsu only, which is like not the tradition. Like you can tell what the gym's about just by his Instagram, right? So yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to have you in Nashville, man. So let's get ready to wrap it up. Now, here's the thing, Andrew. If someone happened to be in the Midwest, they're living under a rock, they've never heard of you, how do they get in contact with you?
Sorry, it's probably a problem and this happens. They don't check their email. They don't know what email they even use to get their affiliate. If you haven't heard from me, andrew.charlesworth@crossfit.com. It's my name plus @crossfit.com. And from there, you can always email me, set up a call. But I think you can also go on, the Midwest Instagram. Could be fine there. CrossFit affiliate, Midwest CrossFit affiliate Instagram. One of those two, you get in contact.
Perfect. Well, man, I'm excited to have you out in Nashville. We're excited to head out your way. But thanks for hanging out with us today. And we look forward to seeing you soon. And guys, as always, tell a friend to tune in, and we will chat with you guys next week. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoyed. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's lassoframework.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.